Hello, everyone. Jeez. Hello, everyone. It's Reviews in the West, our top films of 2020. It's finally here. I know everyone's been waiting for this. We've been getting fan requests, letters in the mail. It's been nonstop.
I got death threats.
Wait, we
Chace-
have fans?
I got death threats, dude. They came to my house and they're like,
That's fucked
if you
up.
don't do the 2020 film review, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No,
and I was like,
wait.
fine, I guess. You know,
But-
whatever.
okay.
It's fucked
Wait,
up. Don't
hold
go to
on.
Chase's house. Don't give death threats. Please.
Wait. This can't be all that bad. They burned crosses outside your house. Okay. We got to do this thing.
No, they did not burn crosses outside of my house because I am not in
we-
the Ku Klux Klan.
No. It's totally fine.
Okay. Well, I'm Victor Martin, as always. I am here with Chace the Biddle and
am.
Nick McCann, the movie man.
Hey.
Don't you
How's-
forget it.
How is your day going, guys?
It's great. Sun's finally coming out in our neck of the woods. I can keep the door open, let some flies in. It's great.
Yeah, it was good. I woke up with a migraine. Started my day off good. I was sweaty when I woke up with a migraine. I was like, wow, it's gonna be a great day. And then it was. It was really good. I rode my motorcycle for a few hours.
Hell yeah.
And then I ended my day until I was here. I played some Master Chief Collection. I've just been Halo 3ing it down and just teabagging some noobs, man.
Nice.
Been great.
Classic.
I might have to get that soon. I read an article. They're gonna shut down all the 360 servers for all the Halo games on 360.
Really?
Because it's a lot of resource managing between that and the Master Chief Collection and so forth, and the new games. So yeah, they're gonna pull the plug on that at the end of this year, I think.
That makes sense.
That's still
Which
sad.
is kind of a shame. Halo Reach was my game, dude. I went
Bro.
to sleep.
Halo Reach is in the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, they added
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Nice, great. They added the one without the Master Chief.
Oh, they also I mean, I think it's just all the Master Chief Collection was probably just like, hey, I know that Bungie's not a part of this anymore, but let's add all of their games, and also let's add our newest one in there too.
Yeah.
That is significantly worse than all the other ones.
Wait, Guardians is in Guardians.
Four.
Is in there? Oh,
Four.
four. Okay.
Oh, 4, yeah.
See, I forgot 4 existed for a second.
Yeah, 4 is a forget.
I think everyone forgets 4.
Well, I think I would forget 5 even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the premise was pretty cool, but yeah, I didn't play the story at all. I literally just played SWAT for like 3 weeks when I had my Xbox, and then I traded my Xbox for my PlayStation, and then I've never looked back.
SWAT is like the best multiplayer game type,
It's
I
sweet.
think.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
SWAT annoys me on a bad day.
Yeah.
I think it would annoy anyone on a bad day.
You get good, Nick. You
I
need to be,
was
you need to be,
good.
You need to be practicing
I
with
was
your
good.
BR, son.
I
Practice
was
with
good.
that BR.
And then the years
Aim
took
high.
away what I had.
When in doubt, jump and throw a grenade, bro.
Yeah.
Halo
Grenade jump.
101.
Straight facts.
Rocket jump it.
Um,
What are we doing today, Victor?
well, we are talking about our favorite and least favorite films of 2020. We've been doing this for a few years now. It sounds like it was pretty tough to gather up and scrape the list of films that came out last year. There was quite a bit, but because of the pandemic, it was less enticing to like watch films, at least on my end. Like, I don't really want to watch digital films. I don't want to pay $20 for a new release. So
Yeah, that
it was just
that
rough all
also-
around.
Yeah, just that it was a lot less enticing to go and seek out new movies this year, or last year, and also we had to, since the Oscars were putting it off, we figured we might as well put off our top 10 list too.
Yeah, and give us more time to watch new stuff or old stuff, I guess, because yeah.
Because we're 4
But-
months into a new year and we already got some movie watches under our belts here.
Dude, we're almost 5 months into the new year. We're already halfway done with this month.
My
Isn't that
goodness,
whack?
it's whack.
Shit
Whack.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one
Um,
movie I really love this year so far. Like, come on.
Same. But yeah, it's pretty simple. We're going to go down our list. Casual shit. Easy shit. Money in the bag.
Easy shit.
Dubs everywhere.
Yep.
To the moon.
So here's the thing. I couldn't get 10 movies because I didn't watch a lot of movies. So during my quarantine time, I was catching up on old movies that I haven't seen yet. So I may kind of alter mine a little bit. When you guys do your top 10, my first 5 that I'm putting down are going to be the new films that I watched for the first time in 2020. If that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
And then that way I can contribute each time, and then
You're not
I'll
just
add,
sitting there.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit to it and stuff. But yeah, I can do that. I'm cool with that.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. Word.
And I have
yeah.
a couple honorable mentions before we kick it off here too.
Yeah, do we want to do, like, do you have any least favorite films that you want to talk about first?
Well, yeah, sure. Let me just
Oh yeah, let me get my Letterboxd open.
Letterboxd, best website ever.
I'm so thankful for this site. It's so,
Dude,
like,
for
just
real.
being able to keep track of, like,
It's so nice.
I love it. It's wonderful. It's great.
shout out Letterboxd.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out Letterboxd.
If you ever want to, like, sponsor us or something like that, like, we'd be down. I think I'd be
You
down.
know, advertise you to hell, and we
would.
would not feel sorry about it.
True.
Okay, I want to start with the worst movie I saw last year. Oh my god. It just annoyed me to all the hell. Actually, it just pissed me off the whole way through. It was the remake of Valley Girl.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, goodness gracious. So I watched the original with Nicolas Cage last year, per my mother's suggestion, and to my surprise, I actually ended up really liking it. It's a charming little romance movie, a great 80s soundtrack. Nicolas Cage is an oddly charming romance lead, and yeah, just it had a good heart behind it. It had a good message behind it that I really got behind. And so yeah, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this remake. See how this is gonna go. It would definitely not be good, but let's check it out anyway. Oh my god.
Is it bad?
It shit the bed.
Oof.
It shit the bed. So yeah, this one's a musical now instead of a straight drama, romance, comedy, so on. And it's so terrible. First off, the soundtrack is the most safe 80s soundtrack you can ask for in one of these throwback movies. I'm fine. I love these classics, but come on, put something new in there. Something that hasn't been put in a movie yet.
Does it feel like the millennials, like, idea or the Zoomers idea of the 80s?
Yeah, and the production design is so fucking tacky. Like, they got leg warmers, neon lights, solid
I've always hated
colors, big hair. It's like, yeah, we get it. It's the 80s. Rock of Ages did this years ago.
Super artificial.
Yeah. The musical numbers were bad renditions of the songs. The acting was horrible. Whoever let Logan Paul onto the cast should be fired. Severely
Logan
fired.
Paul's in the movie?
Yeah, and he's the worst.
Oh, man.
He's
Well,
horrible.
yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
In case you couldn't hate him enough. Yeah, the acting was bad. The writing was shitty. It totally missed the idea of the original movie. And it pissed me the fuck off. I couldn't take it.
Yuck off.
Fuck off. I had a horrible time watching this one. My mother will tell you.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And it's a shame. There's great actors in it too. Like the chick from Happy Death Day. She was great in that movie.
Yeah.
And no, this movie did her dirty.
Don't watch the new Valley Girl.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So that's my worst movie of the year. Should I just keep going with ones?
Yeah, maybe just kind of like
Not to hijack
Speed
right out
round.
the gate. Okay.
Yeah, speed round. Quick
Okay.
Summaries.
Okay, Ghosts of War, a really bad war horror movie. It felt like someone watched Overlord and thought, hey, I could do that shittier.
Nice.
Yeah, The Turning, January horror movie.
oh,
It's a shame. Finn Wolfhard and Mackenzie Davis. Enthusiastic actors, but the material is so It's so terribly directed. If you want a better version of that story, watch The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's the same, based off the same book, but this one's just awful. Mulan, really disappointing all around. Totally.
You can listen to our review of that one on the channel.
Yeah. Bloodshot, Vin Diesel tries to make himself look cool again for the millionth time.
The millionth time.
Keeps trying.
Keeps trying, man.
Ava, a really terrible action movie with Jessica Chastain by a director that clearly can't do action. Yeah, I think that about does it.
Chase, any you want to shoot off?
I didn't watch enough to know, like, terrible movies. Mulan was pretty bad. I didn't like Mulan. That's about it.
Okay, so I'll go with mine. I got so my first one is I Got 5 on It 3. It's the third film in the I Got 5 on It
Wait, what? What?
franchise. I Got 5 on It. It's a really bottom of the barrel, like, stoner comedy franchise. The first two are pretty funny in, like, that, like, so bad way, but this one, it just only, so it's like a duo brother group that direct these films, equivalent to the Coens, but they do, like,
Stoner comedies
and just some really weird low budget B movie stuff. But only one brother was able to do this one, and it shows because it's missing something. There's some characters who don't get enough screen time. It's a bummer. I was disappointed severely. Mulan, we talked about that. Just boring. Not even worth even talking about anymore. And I guess Cadaver film. It was I think
Oh yeah, it was
European,
a
Norwegian.
Yeah.
It had a really cool concept, but, like, damn, it just sort of got stupid very quick.
Yeah, I was torn about that movie too. I guess it was a good premise, but I just got confused at the mechanics of it. I just had to wonder more than I had to be entertained.
Yeah, it was a severe miss. They could have done so much more with that one. And then I gotta give a special shout out to Mank, one of the boringest films I had seen from last year.
That's a hot take.
That's a real hot take.
I already wasn't really hyped seeing it, and so maybe that didn't help, but I just did not find it to be interesting whatsoever. There's some interesting moments. There's some, like, monologues that I thought were well written, but overall, a bore and a snore. So
Bore and a snore.
Bore and a snore.
Well, I can understand. I can understand bore, but a snore? That's just too
It's
much.
in black and white, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it's
Oh, okay, we're gonna pull that card.
the most artificial, gross, just film filter that they could have used. It just looks. They did a decent job replicating, like, old film stock, but the digital, the pure digitalness of it just
You can tell.
is so conflicting. It's like.
Why don't you,
It's like the image just kind of jitters. There's, like, scratches every once in a while, but it was just a weird choice.
well,
Super strange.
You just want to go up to the door and be like, "Hey, David, pick up a fucking film camera."
Kind of, yeah. It was just a huge misfire. So, yeah, those are mine.
That's impressive, and I'm out of here. I don't like your words.
All right, so there goes our least favorite films of the year.
Yeah.
And let's go to honorable mentions. Nick, you want to start us off?
Sure. My first one is Blood Vessel. It's a pulp horror movie on Shudder, and it is so pulp. It's really entertainingly pulp. I like it. Any gamers out there, have you ever played the Zombie Army trilogy at all? It feels like that. You have these really distinct characters that each represents a nation from World War II. They're trapped on this boat. Nice horror movie. Clever use of the vampire tropes. Just all around really entertaining. Good to sit back to and watch. First Cow. It's a Western sort of drama, or like a frontier adventure drama. It's not even an adventure. It's just two guys making treats, making cakes, It was good. Kind of slow for my taste. I don't think I'll watch it many more times, but it is good. 4x3, the production design, it's got a unique style to it. It's fine. It feels like something you would read for an English class or something kind of. I won't want to say Mark. I don't want to say Mark Twain, but like it's right. It's going for that. I guess
It's got some Twain in it.
It's got some Twain. It's got some
Yeah.
novella feel.
Some Twain and Twang.
And my last
Twainy
one.
twang.
And my last one is gonna be Host, another Shudder horror
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything quite new, but the fact it was able to take advantage of the pandemic as far as filmmaking that fast, it is commendable for what they achieved. It is pretty good. It's a good watch. What they do, they get a lot of stuff in there. They get stunts, they get makeup, and they're able to bounce across between the Zoom calls and so forth. It's unfriended lights, but it
Yeah.
just has the pandemic gimmick to it. So it's good. I commend them for what they did.
So, first one is a film called Deerskin. The director had made that film Rubber. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
The fucking tire one.
Yeah. This one's pretty fucking bizarre. It's about a man who gets very obsessed over this deerskin jacket, and let's just say things kind of go into a house that Jack built sort of thing, and it's some very great deadpan, awkward humor. It made me and Stephanie laugh a lot, which also boosted my rating for it. It's just overall very bizarre movie. Ending a little underwhelming, but overall quite good. Defy of Bloods. Yeah. This is, I think, one of the most Spike Lee films I've seen. It's quite good. There's so many powerful emotional moments in it, but
Quite the gut punch.
for sure. But don't think I will return to this one anytime soon. Palm Springs. Good take on the time loop genre that's been milked to death. Not really in a genre I'm really interested in, but for some reason it just had good vibes, and the chemistry between the two leads was very entertaining. And yeah, I surprisingly I wasn't really thinking I was gonna like it that much, but
It's a time loop movie.
mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Thought it was some drama about Florida.
No. It goes kind of in dramatic moments, has some dramatic moments, but overall it's pretty entertaining. This one hurts me. Fucking Tenet. I really wish I'd watched this one again before this, because I had a feeling that with my expectations a little bit lowered, I could find more enjoyment out of it. But it's overall super interesting. The concept's pretty
Kind of dope.
it's something. It's pretty dope. It's just, by the end of it, I don't know. I was pretty conflicted. There was a lot of it that I liked, but it just felt, God, I don't know, sort of boneless in a sense. And a lot of the exposition, like a lot of his weaknesses, Nolan's, just got to me this time around, and they usually don't. But this time I was just sort of like, dude, get some control, man. Control yourself. But there's some dope shit in it. Okay, then Host, like when Nick said, cool take on that sort of Unfriended-esque filmmaking. Does some creative enough things to make itself different from Unfriended. And then I guess I'll give a shout out to this film called Murder, Death, Koreatown. It's this weird, obscure, bizarre found footage film where the premise is an investigation on an actual true crime that had happened in LA, but it's also a work of fiction, and it's just very, you have to see it to understand, but like the person who narrates it and films it is super like cringy and awkward. Like he does what you would expect from like a true crime, like found footage film. It's just like, it tries, but it's like, what the fuck? And like, it's totally off kilter. It's overall quite good and it's kind of spooky, but the man behind the camera and the person who stitches it together is just makes the film unlike any found footage I've ever seen. Really weird. That one you can watch on Prime, I believe. I'd recommend it. And that's it.
I don't know, man. Cringe. I don't think I can handle cringe these days.
Like it's so weird. I don't even know if cringe is the right word, but it's so bizarre. But those are my honorable mentions.
Jace, you got any? No? Great, cool.
I barely have normal ones, so I don't have any honorable mentions this year.
Let's start the freaking top 10 of 2020. Nick, you wanna go?
Totally topical. Oh. Sorry. I got carried away. Migo?
Amigos.
Migo?
Yes, we are friends.
Migo first.
Migo.
I'll just go. Number 10 from me. It's Yes, God, Yes. This is based off a short film that came out in 2018 or 2019, and it finally became a feature. I strangely got a big kick out of it. It's one of those dry indie comedies. Plays around a lot with innuendo, which I thought was really funny. Natalia Dyer, Nancy from Stranger Things. I hope she has a great career ahead of her. She probably does have a great, but I hope
she's dead.
No, I hope she continues to pick great roles and have a great career because.
I'm sorry. She's fucking dead. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, Victor. Never change.
Simple man.
Ow.
Anyways. Yeah, she's great in the movie. I hope she gets more great roles because she is a quality actress, up and coming. It was also a nice kind of throwback to the early 2000s. This actually felt like the nostalgia hit me this time around. Like, I could watch all the 80s, 90s, 70s throwback type period movies, and I get a kick out of it because I know what those relate to, those certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the early 2000s, I lived that, and this movie kind of captured it pretty well. Like, song choices, the lingo, how people dressed, and everything. Like, I lived through that, and I remember it perfectly, even though I didn't go to a church camp. But yeah, I love the innuendo humor in this because I just love it. It's really funny. There's a lot of it, and it adds to the character a lot. It's just how crazy and bizarre the world of sexual awakening is, and yeah, it was just funny. It probably not standout for anyone else, but I'm still talking about it right now. It's great. It's fun.
Cool. My number 10 is The Empty Man.
The Empty Man.
This was quite a bizarre piece. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Horror film, horror mystery. Very, very cool premise. One that deals with like almost like cosmic horror elements. You have like a 20-minute prologue that sets up not even the world, but like the lore behind the so-called Empty Man. Yes.
Is this the one you messaged me about some months ago?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I meant to respond to that one, by the way, but yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, go on.
Okay. But yeah, man, like it does sort of. This is a first-time director's work, surprisingly. I guess he did a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff on like Fincher sets, but the technical quality is like super on point. And while some of the horror elements they're pretty lacking in some moments. Overall, it's just a super interesting film, and for being almost 2.5 hours, it like kept me intrigued. Definitely don't miss this one because I think it definitely is could have a cult following in the future, and it does now even. It went under the radar, but it's weird as all hell. Bit weird, like bit confusing towards the end, but overall, I was really digging it. So, The Empty Man.
Okay, number 9.
Oh, whoa.
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 We're doing things different around here, son.
Okay. Okay. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Holster your
So-
weapons.
Like I said, how I'm going to be doing mine for my 5. For your 10 through 5, I'm going to do my favorite movies that I've seen for the first time in 2020, because I didn't get to watch a lot of 2020 films. So my number 10 movie is Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell.
Huh.
I had no idea what this movie was when I first saw it. I should say that it came out in 2008. Yeah, he was pretty big in 2008. You know, like pretty big. And so I had no idea. I was like, Josie and I were like, what should we watch? And I'm like, oh, Will Ferrell. This looks like it would be like gut bustingly funny because it's Will Ferrell, but it's actually not. It's actually really fucking sad.
Yeah.
And so essentially the premise of the movie is Will Ferrell is just this normal dude with a very, very like to the second like regimen, and his entire life is being narrated by oh god,
An author.
who
Like it was Emma Thompson, right?
Emma Thompson, yeah. Emma Thompson, who has an amazing voice, by the way. She has such a
Silky.
nice, soothing voice.
Silky
But
smooth.
he starts to notice it. And so there's all these shenanigans that go on.
Is
and
she
go
that
on.
British bitch?
Victor!
Excuse you.
Victor!
She is royalty.
She is great.
I just wanted to come in. Sorry. Anyway.
British bitch. God. But no, so what ends up happening is, you know, Will Ferrell's trying to figure out where this voice is coming from and how no one else can hear it. But it's I'm not gonna go on anymore about it, but it's really good. It's not as funny as I thought it would be. It's actually a really powerful, like, dramatic piece from Will Ferrell that you don't really see a lot. I mean, of course it's funny, but it's not like normal, like, Will Ferrell screaming like, oh my god, like, you know, Ricky Bobby type shit. But it's really good. It has a very emotional up front. It like I said, it comes off as kind of like a comedic kind of film, but then it kind of twists in the middle to this like just like kind of depressing life that this guy has. And yeah, there's like a romance in it too with
Maggie
Gyllenhaal, and it's great. It's super fun, and I recommend it. It is a very it's very, very good, and it's number 5 on my top 5 new watches of 2020.
That's great,
Alright.
bro. No, I have vague memories of that movie.
What the fuck? That came off so condescending, Nick. That's great, bro. I have such good memories.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But
I know.
I have vague memories of that movie, honestly, because that was one family and I rented back in the day. They're like, oh yeah, Will Ferrell, he's funny. Well, let's try
Yeah.
it. And I didn't really tune into it a whole lot because I was in middle school still, I think, and I still wasn't fully paying attention to movies back then.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And yeah, so it was funny for a bit, and then I just kind of left the room and kind of came back in and out and got pieces of it along the way. Yeah, it's a more dramatic movie from what I remember. Yeah, because it does go down a really serious path at one point, but
It is. It's
I don't
pretty.
know,
It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and it was.
Sure.
I think I enjoyed it more because I was so surprised that it was not just like an outright comedy.
yeah,
And you know, and I thought it was super fun. And I yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun. What can I say? I like
I
it.
don't know. You speak your mind, brother.
I'm speaking it.
Great. I'm gonna speak my mind now with my number 9. Victor, you're not gonna like this. My number 9.
Boy.
My number 9 is Mank.
More like wank. Sorry.
More
go
like
on.
We
more
gotta
like-
set M
more
for
like
Mank.
Skank
You should
and
set it
shank.
to W. Wait, no, you gotta set the M for Mank. You gotta set it to W for Wank.
Did you
Nice.
set it to wank?
Oh, jeez.
Pull quote. That's the pull quote for the Blu-ray cover. No, I was picking up what Meg was putting down. I liked it. Probably because I track down classic movies probably more than the average modern moviegoer. I was hooked when it said Fincher was going to replicate 30s and 40s filmmaking down to a T, and I think he did it pretty well. I like the camera work. Yeah, I guess it's digital looking. I couldn't tell. Sound quality, everything from the sound quality to the aspect ratio and just the whole like look of the production, it really captures the feel of that golden era of Hollywood. And Gary Oldman knocks it out of the park again. He's so great in the movie. Rest of the cast as well. Oh, yeah, and it's a very interesting story, I think. And it's interesting the execution of it too, because it comes back to that quote Mank says in the movie, how you can't capture a whole guy's life in 2 hours. You only hope to give the impression of one. That's what he said about Citizen Kane. I feel like that was the whole message of this movie. Some parts are more interesting than others, but yeah, you do get an impression for Mankiewicz's life in the bits and pieces, and it's interesting and it's pretty good stuff. Probably not my favorite Fincher movie, but I think he did pretty dang well. He did well enough. I'm rooting for it come Oscar season.
Wank bank. Sorry.
Dang.
Put it in my Mank Spank Bank. Mank Wank Spank.
Dank Mank Spank Bank.
Yep.
Jank.
Possibly.
Nank.
Okay, my number 9 is The Invisible Man.
Oh yeah.
Pretty standout horror film that I just kind of surprised the hell out of me. I mean, God, can you blame someone for not being too amped about horror films these days? I can't. But The Invisible Man, kind of, I don't know, just one of the different horror films that come out in the past few years.
Damn right you were surprised. You should have seen the look on your face.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's spooky. I mean, it's not like right out scary, but there's some great
it's like a thriller.
camera work. Yeah, it's more of a thriller, but a lot of the camera work does justice or like adds to the horror elements.
God, yeah.
I mean, even with Upgrade, Winnell just shows like great talent.
I will watch whatever this guy directs.
Yeah,
straight up.
So, Invisible Man, totally recommend if you're into horror films. It's quite good. Even if you're not into horror films, maybe give it a go. It would satisfy a variety of people.
It's great. It's fantastic.
All right, number 4, rewatch or not rewatch, first watch is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh hell yeah!
Haven't seen it.
That's a fucking good movie, man.
I love it.
And that's also one that's very like it's not like oh yeah, this is gonna be a good. No, it is not a. There's some funny bits in it because, but it's like funny in a way that's like, wow, I should not be laughing at this, but Jack Nicholson is just a fucking treasure.
He is treasure. That's exactly the word.
And so essentially, it's about this this guy who's honestly just a fucking asshole. He's just a horrible man, and he gets sent to it's either he goes to prison or he goes to a psychiatric ward. I think, right?
Yeah. Well, he's a prisoner. He gets transferred to a psych ward.
Yes. He gets transferred to the psych ward because isn't he faking it? He thinks that it comes across as he's faking it.
Yeah, he thinks he'll get better treatment in a psych ward. In prison. Yeah.
So, but essentially, you have Jack Nicholson, who's relatively, like I said, he's faking this mental illness, and then he's around people who actually do have these mental illnesses, it's kind of fucked up because they're trying to get like the help, and I'm pretty sure I don't think this is a spoiler or anything, but I'm trying to not make it a spoiler for you, Victor. I really don't want it to be.
That's okay.
But I think there's something. It's something like they're all there willingly. So he's the only one there that didn't come in for themselves. And And so there's a contrast there because these people actually want to be there, and he's just fucking around because it's like, well, I'm not in prison, you know, and it's there's a relationship that is similar to the movie The Ringer from Johnny Knoxville, but
What the hell?
in a much more in a much more appropriate way. I mean, everything that he does in the film is fucked up and inappropriate and totally should not be done by any human. But
Oh, yeah.
at a certain point, he kind of actually starts to like love these guys, but there's still that underlying aspect of he's just fucking around. He doesn't really
But
care.
you're forgetting one big important factor: Nurse
Yes.
Ratched.
Nurse Ratched, she is out to get Jack Nicholson.
She's a straight demon.
She is terrible. She's really abusive and has like power hungry, but it's really good. It's such a good movie. I was recommended it in a car ride with someone. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, yeah, cool. I'll watch that tonight. I think I watched Stranger Than Fiction and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in one night.
Cool.
And yeah, it was such a fun time. It was not fun. It was not a fun time. It was such a fun experience to be able to look back and be like, a movie that's so well regarded and you have never fucking seen it. I have another one on here that's like that too, and so it's just it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely worth the spot where it is. I think it could be higher. I don't think I could make it lower.
The 8th movie that I liked last year. It's The Wolf of Snow Hollow. So this one lured me in pretty well. You know me, I love my monster movies. I also like being blind. That's great.
You're in Eclipse. Look at
I
you're
got
the
J.J.
shadow.
Abrams'
you're the-
camera in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Lens flares, let's do it.
Chill out, Abrams.
Chill out, Michael Bay.
Why don't you go ruin Star Wars?
No,
I'm just
not his-
kidding.
it's not
Just
his
kidding.
fault.
I'm just kidding.
But anyways, yeah, you know me, I like my monster movies. So I was like, so I heard, oh, this looks like a werewolf movie. Let's check it out. It's kind of a monster movie. It plays itself like a creature feature. It has that framework to it, but it's really a dark humor drama, and it's surprisingly really good. What's this?
I like when specifically like monster movies have a tendency to end up being more like drama type stuff like that. Like I like when they do that. Like The Fly. The Fly is a creature feature and it's definitely like that, but it's also pretty dramatic as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, this one's like a dark comedy though. Jim Cummings, apparently he's getting around these days. Yeah, he writes, directs, and stars, I think, and he does pretty good job. I was laughing at a lot of the jokes, and I was getting the circumstance of it all, because that's what it is. Good comedy comes from good drama and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It progresses really nice. The acting is really great, especially from the late Robert Forster. That guy was a treasure, let me tell you. Nice send-off for him, and yeah, this one was just unexpected, and I dug it quite a bit. It wasn't what I expected, but it entertained me nonetheless. I recommend this. Victor, this might be like a movie for you, because it's pretty out there. If we're using me for a reference point, it's a pretty out there movie for a guy like me. But I was able to latch onto it.
I liked his film Thunder Road. I thought that was quite good. So yeah, I was interested in this one. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, check it out. And Robert Forster, just one more time.
Shout out Robert Forster. Sheriff Truman's father in Twin Peaks season 3.
Max
Anyway.
Cherry Bail Bond.
Season.
Okay, my number 8 is a film called Shithouse. This is a sort of a... It's weird. It's sort of a...
I'll
how do I
say.
explain? It's got a very, like, indie, cutesy Sundance feel to it, which doesn't really interest me at all. But for some reason, this film of, like... Basically, it's about this college freshman, fish out of water sort of scenario. Doesn't really have any friends. He's trying to figure himself out. Very overwhelmed by college, feeling lonely, trying to find friends. It's surprisingly really well made for this kid's first film. I think he's like 23 or something. He's super young. But I don't know. This one just really hit me. I never went to college, but I think that a lot of people could relate to a lot of what happens in this film and like with the character. It sort of has like Linklater elements where a lot of conversation, a lot of just back-to-back dialogue, and you're kind of learning about the characters as they go on.
So it's boring.
You could say it's boring. Yeah, you could say it's boring.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna get your ass, boy.
You
Hey,
better.
Boyhood is a genuine classic.
Oh, don't even start in Boyhood.
Don't even get me started on Boyhood.
But yeah, it hit me and made me feel very emotional. And the lead character, he surprisingly shows a lot of fragility, like just more than you really see with like a male lead character. Like he's crying, he's calling his mom because he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm kind of nervous, I'm scared. It's like really something. And the lead performance from the guy who directed it, he's the lead actor, and he kills it. So with everyone else in the film, it's a very it's a very easy watch, but I definitely recommend it. He shows great potential. So
Where do you
Shithouse.
Where can you watch it from?
I think you have to rent it on. Yeah, you have to rent it on
Prime?
Amazon.
Where?
Yeah.
My number 8 or my number 3 movie watch of the of new movie of 2020 is Howl's Moving Castle. It's a Studio Ghibli film. Studio Ghibli, however you want to say it.
GIF.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The premise is there's this girl, I think her name is Mary. I'm probably wrong, but I think that's her name. She lives in this town where there's this like magician whose name is Howl, and he just does magic and shit, and it's really cool, and one day she meets this Howl, and immediately there's this like spark connection. So something happens where she's a haberdasher.
Haberdashery?
Yeah.
She makes hats, but something happens where she gets turned into an old woman, and she's only like, I think she's probably only like 18 or something like that. And so she goes out and she's looking for Howl to see if he can get her back to normal. And it's just this nice adventure film with so many like kooky characters, and the animation of course is beautiful. But the story itself and the way that everything kind of plays out is just beautiful. It's like living in a children's book. It's so gorgeous and grounded, but still it's up in the sky with your imagination. It's like it's just such a fun film, and I hadn't watched any Ghibli film at all, and other than Grave of Fireflies, which is, if you haven't seen that one, that's a World War II film.
Yeah.
Takes place in either, I think it's like Hiroshima or Nagasaki or one of those.
Something like that.
It's tough to watch, but it is still incredible. A gorgeous film as well. But yeah, I'm pretty solid with Howl's Moving Castle, and them being on HBO Max is great, and I'm able to watch all the Ghibli films, and I've kind of slowly been making my way through. I watched 3 of them in like a week, just kind of moving through them to get watching them. But yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is super fun.
Is this the one with the gray bunny panda looking thing?
No, that's My Neighbor Totoro. But
My Neighbor what?
My Neighbor Totoro. But this one is in the American version, or the I think Billy Crystal plays one of the characters, and his name is Calcifer, and he's like a little flame ball. Fucking amazing. And then Christian Bale actually voices Howl.
Wow.
It's really good. So Christian Bale, who has another fantastic, like, dreamy voice, gets to voice this like dreamy character, and it's just perfect. It's a fucking great film.
Big name stars. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good. I thought it was fantastic.
Cool. Nice. I'm waiting for the day I start on Ghibli. Everyone talks an armful about them. So at some point you gotta kind of.
It's fun. They're
Give it a go.
They're such fun, dude.
Yeah, even if you're not into anime, like
Yeah.
it's like just the storytelling and in the world building, it's just super. You just can't go wrong.
Yeah, and
it's
it
just
doesn't
beautiful.
It doesn't feel like anime. Anime is
Yeah.
drawn out, and I think the best way to like to describe anime is like watching a Dragon Ball Z episode where they're just screaming for 15 minutes and then nothing happens. Like, that's kind of what anime, like, in my head is.
That or they blow up the planet.
They blow up the planet, or they start having sex. Like, it's one of the three. It's like
Hot take.
Excuse me?
But this feels like a Pixar film.
Yeah.
It genuinely feels like a Pixar film, and if Pixar decided that they wanted to work with oh my god, what's his name? Who makes the Ghibli films?
Is it Miyazaki?
Miyazaki. If Miyazaki made a fucking Pixar film, that would be
unstoppable.
right up my fucking alley, dude.
Is it Nick, your number 7, right?
Yes, lucky number 7. That would be Tenet. I'm gonna describe it like how I did in my Instagram video. Wow and what and wow. I missed this in the theaters for obvious reasons, and I bought it, and I straight bought the movie on a limb because I didn't want to rent it, so I just straight bought it. We sat down and watched it, and I dug it a lot. I was really into it up until a point, but not like that. I really like the movie, It's classic Nolan, for better or for worse, which is the saying lately, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's some impressive shit in here, even for Nolan. For one, I think this is his best action filmmaking he's done ever. It's so fast and so visceral. He's starting to take notes, I think, from his peers and his past projects. This is like John Wick quality action, I think.
Wow.
It's like his John Wick.
There's some impressive shit in here. Like,
I haven't seen it yet. I was actually thinking of going along the same lines as you, Nick, and just saying fuck it and buying it.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, and you guys have both seen it, and Victor, you saw it in theaters, and Nick, you watched it at home. So apparently the audio, like the dialogue in some points, you can just not fucking understand what they're saying.
Yeah, that is the caveat. The audio mixing is very askew. You either need to change the frequencies on your television or straight turn up the volume quite a bit.
I mean, I have subtitles on all of my movies that I watch.
Yeah,
so.
You'll be fine then. It's just like, it's purposeful. Like he does it for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Does he?
He does. He says he. Yeah,
I think did he say it afterwards or did he say it beforehand?
Well, I think he's kind of defended his previous films. He says he kind of takes like a sort of abstract approach to it because he says like people can get experimental with like visuals and stuff, but why can't I get experimental with audio?
Okay.
And like I get that, but it's just something you don't see really ever in mainstream films. So like when it does happen, you're like, bro, I want to hear what they're saying. But I guess I'm not supposed to.
Story points.
Exactly. Like when I finished the movie, I was like, "What was going on?"
Well, that's another thing. I was actually with it for quite a while, and then there was a point where my brain got distracted for a microsecond, and I lost my place in the movie. Like, what?
Yeah, dude.
What's happening?
I'm trying to remember what scenes. Like, I mean, there's just like pivotal moments, especially like
I think
the phone call towards the end.
When they introduced the red and blue room, I think, is when
my god.
Yeah. it was fun. It was fun, though. I don't take it as a negative, but that was kind of fun. just to kind of see how long I could last in a Nolan movie. Because I remember back in the day, Inception threw me off.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck me up, dude.
But now Inception, like, that seems like a cakewalk compared to this,
it does.
honestly. Like, the thing with this one is, like, it explains a lot to you, but it still goes, like, really fast.
It's still not enough.
It's like holding your hand, but, like, running. And you're like,
You're
what's
dragging
going on?
across the ground.
That's exactly it. Like, yeah, that red and blue room. I am like, this looks dope, and this is really cool.
Yeah.
But I really don't understand the mechanics behind it. But things go reverse and he goes forward. That's fine. I'll roll with it.
Just that's it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. We're done. No, I like it how it's basically his mind writing a James Bond movie. It has the feel of the older James Bond movies, which I really dug. Right down to a big final assault scene at the end.
Fuck.
That was wicked. Typical Nolan. Great production values, quality acting when you can hear it. His most visceral and fast-paced action sequences thus far. And I appreciate that he's still doing these really high-concept blockbusters.
Yeah.
And I like that. I'm in that group. I like this will require multiple views to get the hang of at least, or at least get a decent bearing on, without fully understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool, man. It's really
Yeah.
awesome. I think
I
it's
ordered
cool.
my hot sauce over an hour ago.
I love it.
It's just
Best fight scene. It was awesome.
dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, John David Washington. He's so awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him, but he didn't feel right for the protagonist.
Yeah.
Personally, I
Maybe.
don't know.
But Pattinson though, Robert Pattinson though.
True.
Great.
He do be there.
Hell yeah. I'm happy for that guy.
Yes.
But no,
Finally getting out of the Twilight spotlight.
Thank God. But yeah, Tenet. I'm still confused. I'll probably I'll need a couple more watches, maybe a lot more watches. Definitely a lot more watches. But I dig it. It's really cool.
My number 7 is Charlie Kaufman's I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
Fuck. It's a really weird movie. I mean, first of all,
It's Kaufman. I don't. That doesn't surprise me at all.
it's
He's a weird man.
Didn't Kaufman write Adaptation?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of his scripts are quite up
And
there
being
in terms
John
of
Malkovich too.
very
okay.
cerebral, very they're very head scratching scripts. But this one in particular, by the end of it, I was more left like confused more than like amazed. But like further delving into it and like watching interviews and getting other people's like takes on the film, I'm definitely on board with it like 99%. It's not a very entertaining film. It drags on a lot and doesn't hold your hand whatsoever, but it deals with a lot of like really heavy topics like loneliness and suicide. It's a very like sad film.
Oh, boy.
And like what you see on the surface is just like is not at all there's so much more to it. Deals with like basically the psyche of someone's mind going through depression and really just standout stuff. I just wonder what the Netflix audience must have thought about this one, because it's quite the head scratcher. Very, very good though.
What does the esteemed Letterboxd community think of this movie?
It's Kaufman. They love him.
It's
Of course.
I mean, it's more divisive, I think, because of. I don't know, I think some people are a bit less patient with like pretentiousness and like that sort of like I'm better than you kind of like smart aleck attitude.
Hasn't that always been
It comes
the
off as
case?
very pretentious, but I don't know. I kind of like that stuff, and it's one that you can delve a lot of time into, just like researching and picking apart. So, yeah.
All right. So my number 7 first watch of.
Third.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Third.
My number 3. Oh wait, no, this is 2. My number 2.
Whoa, mama.
My number 3 was House. This is my number 2. So my number 2 first watch was Alien.
First time?
I had never seen Alien up until 2020.
Wow.
And god damn, that movie's good.
Yeah.
What a
betcha.
What a terrifying movie for coming out in 74?
79.
79? Jesus, it's a scary film. Like
It's fucked.
And old movies don't scare me. The Exorcist scares me just because it's The Exorcist. But, I think the 70s era of horror films just is the level of horror that, like, Texas Chainsaw, dude, that is by far one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and there's nothing outright like jumping at you. It's just frightening images, and the way that they, like in this movie too, the way that they hold onto reactions and silence is insane. And not to mention that my boy Ridley Scott is a legend when it comes to sci-fi and just in general. Yeah, I may have a bias because he, created Blade Runner, but not created, but directed Blade Runner. But yeah, no, it's such a frightening film. Even the kind of goofy, like latex suit they have on the actor is still scary to this day. It's a little goofy. If you see it in wide shots, it's a little goofy. But that's just because it's a relatively lower budget film, and it's also 70s like fucking latex molding. It's not perfect.
Well, come on. Let's be generous here. Or
I'm being very generous.
Well, not generous. I mean, Star Wars came out.
Let's be civil here.
Yeah. No, Star Wars is also super goofy with their like costumes and stuff as well.
You're just saying that because the aliens look weird.
Star Wars is goofy as hell.
Star Wars is goofy as hell.
Don't even.
I love every fucking second of it, but Star Wars is goofy as hell. But this is a fucking great film, man. It's so fun, and it's terrifying, and I love the it's also huge. Like, the movie is enormous. Like, they filmed on a I don't know if it was on was it a planet? Did they film on another planet? Not for real, but did
another planet?
Like, did they go to another planet and film
Holy
this?
Shit.
But they were on another planet, right? Where they find the the ship, and where the eggs are, and that looked fucking great. That looked so good, and I can only imagine that's just a set, someone made that.
Oh yeah.
And it's just movies don't get made like that anymore.
Yeah,
and it's there's not as much love in what you're doing anymore. I don't know what it is, but Alien is so good. And I watched, again, this is another one I watched day after day of which one. So I watched Aliens after this one, and Aliens was I did not like Aliens compared to Alien. I thought it was good, but I didn't think that it was up to Alien status.
Good, you mean amazeballs?
I think that Ripley was in all of this is a fantastic character, and one of, if not the greatest female protagonists to ever be written. She's so powerful, and I think her character is better described in Aliens. I will give you that. She has more of in Alien, she could be just swapped with a man and it would feel no different.
I don't think so.
Well, but in Aliens, she has that motherly kind of instinct that we see, that we couldn't see with a man. You know what I mean?
Still, yeah, it's playing on the final girl trope that was just starting up in the 70s. You got movies like Halloween, starting the slasher film, and
But she was cooler than all the other final girls. I think she's the final girl, the coolest final girl.
Well, still, she starts off as a side character, and then she gets bumped up to leader status at some point.
Yeah.
That's what makes her great in this movie.
Also, the fucking cat doesn't get killed. That was my favorite part of the movie. I was so pissed. I was sitting there, and I was like, dude, if this cat dies, I will shut this movie off right now.
I would have left it.
I don't remember the cat's name, but...
Jonesy.
Jonesy didn't die, and I was so fucking pumped. I was so pumped.
I'm sorry, Jonesy.
I think I remember messaging you guys in the group chat as I was watching this movie. I'm like, I swear to fucking God, if Jonesy dies, I will be so mad. But regardless, my number 2 favorite film watched for the first time in 2020 is Alien.
Sick, dude.
Right on.
I'll just say I love the 1970s. 70s cinema is my favorite era of filmmaking ever.
I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it quite a bit.
So much good shit came out, and all the new artists start getting famous. My number 6 is Greenland. It's a disaster movie with Gerard Butler. I was hoping for entertainment, but I got something kind of different with this one. It's a disaster movie, less about spectacle and more about character drama, and it succeeds pretty well. It's great, cool action scenes for the mid-budget. We don't see a lot of mid-budget action movies anymore, so this one looked pretty good. Sans a couple iffy effect sequences, but no, there's great variety. But mostly, it's the characters that matter in this movie and the situations. It's about watching society react to this global event, this planet-killing meteor that's incoming toward Earth, and it's cool seeing all the different scenarios that get thrown at these characters and so forth. Angry mobs, breakdowns of local society, helping and fighting strangers and all that. Like, it was really well done. Gerard Butler does a great job. Marina, what's her face from Deadpool? Marina Baccarin. She was excellent too. The kid in this movie was great as well. If you want a disaster,
So good. You
so
remember him
good.
as the kid.
No, if you want a disaster movie where if you want more character development out of your disaster movie, this is a good bet to go with, I think, because I like my Towering Infernos, I like San Andreas and all that, but yeah, you get just as much spectacle as you do story and character out of this one. And it was great. And it was great to watch something like this in the middle of the pandemic. Just some hope that I could still be entertained cinematically in trying times like this, just to escape for a little bit. So yeah, Greenland. It shot up there gradually. The more I thought about it.
I love when movies do that. You go home after like watching it, like going to the theater, and you're like, that was pretty good. And then you like wake up the next morning, and you're like, man, that was pretty good. And then you go to sleep one more time, and you wake up, and you're like, that was really good.
Damn. All right. My number 6 is... Oh, I guess this one is a Best Picture contender, I think. Another Round. Danish film.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen.
With Mads Mikkelsen.
Dude, I've heard the premise of that. That sounds so fucking good.
It is, yeah. I mean, the premise is
good.
This group of teachers who try this experiment where this philosopher or this man basically had this idea that humans are born with a low blood alcohol content, and that having a drink, bringing it above that level every day, boosts creativity, reduces stress, makes you all around a better person all around. But really at the core of it, it's just kind of like finding that spark in your life and finding what makes you happy. Mads Mikkelsen's character is very depressed. He's just that spark in life isn't there, and through this experiment, while it does get a bit rocky, he does find what's important in life, and like it's a very life affirming film. It's very low key for like the majority of it. I could probably bring this to like my number 7, but like I don't know, as a character piece and just the themes that are presented, it just really got me good. And the ending is just, boy,
oh man,
just such a it's such a good ending. It's so feel good. It's sort of bittersweet, but damn, is the ending just like,
Yeah.
life is good.
I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
You should do it. Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
great.
You know, here's the question I'll bring up, like the start of the episode question that we didn't do here. Has Matt Mikkelsen ever done a bad role?
I don't know. I haven't seen him enough, but he's great.
He's in Casino Royale, Rogue One,
Doctor
fucking
Strange.
Doctor Strange. Shit, he comes out swinging every time.
Yeah, he's great in this. Very low key, like I said, but
Nice.
great film.
All right, my number one first watched film of 2020 is Spirited Away, and another Ghibli film. But this is by far the greatest animated movie I have ever seen, and my favorite, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time is Hercules, like the 90s Hercules, and they're fighting, right?
Damn.
and Hercules is like, I'm talking 5 of all time of my favorite movies in general. Like it's like Blade Runner, 2049, 2001, and then The Goonies, and then maybe Hercules. And they're fighting right now. Spirited
Put 20
Away.
on Ghibli.
Spirited Away is about this little girl and her family. They're moving to a new house, or they're moving to a new area, and she doesn't have any friends. She doesn't know the area or anything like that. She's a normal little girl. She's curious and excitable, but still, she's scared. She's scared for the most part, and she ends up going into this world, into this spirit world, where she now has to kind of be brave by herself, when her parents get turned into pigs, and it's
Wait, what?
pigs. They get turned into pigs.
Scratch.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and so they're pigs, and she now has to traverse this world that she didn't mean to come into because her parents were I think there's some sort of like bewitching, like in a tunnel or something like that. She has to figure out this world on her own, and she has to be brave, and she has to kind of grow up, and it really is just a message of, I know what is ahead of you looks scary, but as long as you're brave, you're going to come out on top, and you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to have a good time, especially if you're able to, put fear aside and just kind of embrace it. And this movie feels like it feels like Alice in Wonderland. It feels like what I want Alice in Wonderland to be. Alice in Wonderland to me is also very important. It's such a creative, just bonkers, wonky film. And this has also just got that. They're so crazy. The characters are so weird. Like, for some reason, there's fucking talking frogs and, like, tuxedos and shit. And they're like, it's so weird. There's, like, little heads that are just heads that kind of, like, roll. And, like, that's how they move, is they just, like, blah, blah, blah. And this movie's so fun. It's so fun, and I could watch it a billion times, and I could still fucking smile every time I watch it. Towards the third act gets really kind of sad, and slows down from the craziness of this new world, but it's so rewarding. It's so beautiful, and from the movies that I've seen, they have not been able to top this. This is so good, and it's so good to the point where it's moving up my ladder of favorite films ever. And it's, oh man, Nick, if you have not seen it yet,
That would be a good one.
you should absolutely start with it, because it's so good. It is so good, and you can watch it in English too, which I watch all of mine in English, because if it's offered, I'm going to watch it in English, so I don't have to try.
Any
extra
big
hard.
stars in the English version?
Yes, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. I remember seeing them, but I know the kid that voices Max in the Goofy movie plays a character. Uh,
Oh, okay.
I'm not too familiar with the characters' names, but yeah, it's Tara Strong is in it, but Tara Strong is in a lot of shit.
Timmy Turner.
Susan Egan, who is the voice of Meg from Hercules, she is also in this, and it's this movie's so good. This movie is so good, and I love every bit of it, and I will never get tired of watching it. I might end up watching it tonight after I watch another round, just because it's that fun. Those are my top 5 first watches of 2020.
We're down to 5.
Whoa,
Halfway
mama.
down. It's already half over.
Wow.
The number 5 movie that I liked last year is The Photograph.
Look at this photograph. Every time it ever makes me laugh.
No, truth be told, I was in kind of a romance kick a few months ago. I can't lie. I don't know. It gets kind of juicy when you watch a good romance movie.
Whoa, what gets juicy, Nick? Come on now. Whoa. Whoa.
Where's
I'm
the
kidding.
fart thing?
I'm
Where's
kidding.
the fart thing?
Oh, it's right here. Hang on. Oh god. Oh, it didn't work. Oh man.
Whoa.
That's a wet one.
There we go.
Sweet beans.
No, I heard good things about this one. I figured, why not? I'm still in this phase. Let's give it a watch. And I was into it. It's a very good.
I'm sorry. I'll put it away. I'm sorry.
It's a good one. It takes a bit to get going, but once you're locked in, it's very charming. It's a good romance. It doesn't fall into a lot of cliche. It takes its characters seriously, and it just doesn't do what's been done in the last 10 or 15 years of romance movies. It's realistic, it's grounded, and it's delightful. Lakeith Stanfield, that guy's everywhere, and I want him to stay
great.
everywhere. This guy is awesome.
He's really good.
Yeah, Issa Rae was great too.
Yeah.
They both have great chemistry. I love seeing these characters get together and grow and discover things. It has a good hook to the story too. Again, takes a bit before the wheels start turning, but they do start turning, and I was with it. I was with it all the way. It delighted me. I needed that delight in my life. So that's number 5.
Nice.
Sweet. My number 5 is Bada Bang Bada Boom, The Sound of Metal.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It was really good. A lot better than I ever could have imagined. Man dealing with hearing loss, finding a community that he can sort of fit into, but, there's a bit of rebellion that goes on. Just what you could imagine someone being like dealing with a new hearing loss. Scary, confusing, maddening. But it's just a great drama and very well realized. I don't know. I was just really into this one. And I mean, I don't want to talk about like anything towards the end, but like it just goes to certain places that you just that just hit you right in the gut.
The ending, I was crying almost the entire
Dude.
fucking time.
I never saw it.
It's got a wonderful ending and has a very good message. One that I don't really feel like explaining, but definitely do not miss it. Riz
Definitely
Ahmed
not.
is he embodies
so good.
this character just perfectly.
He
Oh, my
absolutely
Lord.
deserves this Oscar nom.
Consistently
Absolutely.
I
great.
know. I don't think that he's gonna win. Personally, I think Chadwick Boseman's gonna win. And unfortunately, it is. I think because he happened to have passed away in 2020. But I haven't seen the film that he's in, so I can't actually say that. But the same thing happened with Heath Ledger.
I
It's-
can.
you
I
know,
saw
it's-
that movie.
Yeah.
I saw that movie. I can definitely say it's looking likely he'll get it. It was a
Was
great
that Ma Rainey?
Was he
Ma
was he
Rainey's-
really good?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
he-
I'm excited for it. But Riz Ahmed is wow. He was so good.
It's just a very, very specific character that I don't even know how to describe it. He's just just so well lived in.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
I know
Work.
someone like him, and it's insane how like that type of person is a
Yeah.
real person. And
That's exactly it. He
it's
feels incredibly real.
Incredibly real.
Like, I know that's a very overused term. It's like, oh, this character feels real, or the film
No,
feels real. But,
I
like,
know a person that
legitimately.
is exactly like him.
Yeah.
It's insane. So,
Also, shout out the sound design too, because it kind of plays with hearing loss, where the audience get to experience it as well, and how that
it's jarring
sounds.
at some points too.
It is.
Yeah.
Like the entire, like, all you hear is just lows, and it's very just like makes you feel kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You try to imagine yourself like living like that, and damn, must
Yeah.
be tough.
Hashtag don't want it.
Hashtag not for
Hashtag
me.
protect your ears, please.
Yeah, please.
Do not take your hearing for granted. Holy cow.
Yeah, if you're playing the drums in a metal band, put some earplugs in. For the love of God.
Yeah. Don't outdo it. Overdo it. All right. Chase?
So, my number 5 favorite film of 2020. You guys are gonna be so fucking upset with my top 5 this this round.
Pissed.
Number 5 is Sonic the Hedgehog.
I knew it.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog is so fun. And I saw it, this was the last movie I saw in theaters before the pandemic hit, or before everything shut down. And I was by myself. I went and saw it after work by myself in Spokane. And I was sitting in the front row, like not front row, but like the front row of, like, you know, the walkway where you can like, put your feet up on the bar, you know? And I had bought tickets, and it was a free seating, and a haggle of children sat next to me and were noisy as fuck. And so I moved. And the mom was so sweet, and she was like, no, I'm sorry, they'll be quiet once the movie starts. I'm like, no, it's okay, I wanted to sit up higher anyway. But no, I was like, I know the motherfuckers are not gonna stop talking. So I'm like, I'm gonna sit back. But eventually I ended up sitting all the way in the back and then to the corner. So the cornermost seat, which is like the least likely seat to be grabbed. And dude, I was laughing harder than the kids. And it was weird because I'm just this big ass dude watching this movie by myself. Like, it's very clear that I'm not with someone. And everyone's there with like their families, and like, you know, it's like father daughter, father son, mother daughter type thing. And there's me just laughing my ass off at Sonic the Hedgehog because I know Sonic more than these kids do. You know, like, I grew up with Sonic. Granted, I grew up with like Sonic Adventure era Sonic, but not like early Sonic. But, you know, I know Sonic. And dude, Jim Carrey in this movie, there's a scene in the movie. I don't know. I literally can't describe it because it wouldn't be funny. But because Jim Carrey is doing it and saying it, I was in tears. I laughed so hard.
Such is the case.
and because I laughed that hard, I was like, this movie's fucking great. And it's definitely in my opinion, the best video game movie ever made. And it's great because it started off with such controversy with that hideous human-looking Sonic. And then they created this beautiful looking Sonic that is as unique. Like, it's they wanted it to look different than the games, and that's fine. And it looks perfect. We were just talking about this. James Marsden, right?
Yeah.
He's in the movie as well, and he's a cop who is like a really great cop, and he's like gets this offer to move to San Francisco, but he wants to stay in like his little town, Green Hills, and you know, Green Hills. That's the town they live in. And and then he meets Sonic, and they just have this relationship, and it's like a buddy cop film. It's so perfect. Essentially, the premise: Sonic loses his rings, and his rings he can throw and travel through different worlds. And he loses his bag of rings on top of this big building in San Francisco, and so James Marsden's like, okay, well, if you leave me alone and you leave here, I will drive you, and we'll never talk to each other again. and of course that's how all buddy travel movies start.
Road movies, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just their chemistry. And Ben Schwartz as Sonic, fantastic.
Wow.
So
okay.
good, and it's such a fun movie. It is so campy and kind of goofy and dumb, but it was I loved it. I loved it, and I can't believe I haven't bought it yet. That's how much I loved it.
I can't believe I haven't seen it. I did want to check out this movie for quite a while.
Dude, it's fun. It's worth the Redbox rental. If you want to, if you know, sure. I can understand not wanting to buy it. But no, this is Sonic the Hedgehog is a solid film. And I will stand by that. It's not a great film. It's definitely an average, but it's solid, dude. It's a solid average film.
That's all you need sometimes. Just fun.
Yeah. It was
fun.
It was a great time at the movie theater. It was funny because I was there by myself with a bunch of little ass kids, and that was funny. And then I got to drive home, and I was like, you know what? That was pretty good. And they set up for a sequel that I'm also equally excited for. So
sequel time. All right, cool.
I'm happy for it. Yeah, they're bringing Tails into it.
Tails. Sweet.
Yeah, I like
cool.
Tails. So yeah, man, Sonic the Hedgehog, solid film.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Can't wait now. Here's my number 4. My number 4 is The Devil All the Time.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I like this one. I gradually grew to like this one the more I watched it, and I miss cool character dramas like this. One where there's like a big ensemble and their stories are woven in, connect to each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Over the course of years in different towns and places. This one, I think, executed it really well. It has that American crime novel feel to it because I read so many American crime novels.
It really does, though. It feels like a book.
It does, yeah.
Is it based off a book? Was it a book?
It was
before?
based off a book. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and there's narration in it that acts like book writing. That's fine though. But no, it's cool. It was really nice. Tom Holland, one of his best performances by far. Pattinson, of course, being Pattinson, killing it, giving it his all.
His accent's a little weird, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, and just there's a huge cast in this. Jason Clarke, Mia Wasikowska, Bill Skarsgård,
fucking
Riley
Neville
Keough.
Not Neville Longbottom, but
oh my
Dudley.
God, yeah.
Dudley Dursley is all skinny now and just
Dudley
a piece of
Dursley.
shit.
Yeah. Oh, Sebastian Stan as the corrupt sheriff.
Yeah.
I loved him in it. Yeah, this was just my cup of tea. Some people weren't quite as impressed by this as I was, but I was really digging it. I was here for the story and the characters. I liked seeing where this journey took me as a viewer.
Yeah.
So yeah, number 4.
Cool. This film I had actually just finished right before we hopped on. I had to squeeze in last minute because I had a feeling it would make my top 10. And it did. It actually got very high up in the list. And that film is called Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets, directed by a brother duo. It is the portrait of a watering hole in Las Vegas that is closing down and the patrons that frequent it. And it's kind of one of those films where nothing happens, but and it's a very strange style. It's sort of this... It's kind of documentary, kind of constructed fiction documentary style. Very bizarre, very unique. I've never seen anything like it.
Is it kind of like one of those, kind of like a hangout movie sort of thing?
Definitely a hangout film.
Okay.
And with that, you're dealing with, people who drink a lot, the emotions and the difficulties that come with alcoholism, and you're dealing with characters who are very lonely and troubled. A lot of an older generation who is hurt and sees the younger generation as confused, and basically what boomers talk about millennials. That sort of conversation flows through all of this. But no, I just think it's a very poignant film, and it just, like I said, it's sort of a documentary about this bar that's closing down. I don't know. I was just really into it. It's super slow and nothing really interesting happens, but you're just focused on these characters and their lives and their mindset. And it's interesting. It's very, very good. I would recommend it if you're just looking for something super just kind of to zone out to late at night. Yeah, this is my
Paying
first one I've seen
attention
of
is
them.
optional, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's just
You
just
might
know
want
what
to
you're
pay
expecting.
attention to it a little bit, just because it's mostly talking type stuff.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
It's very much a hangout film, but I was super into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say, but because I just saw it, I'm kind of like
You're still
still
processing.
gathering my thoughts. But
Understood. Well, my number 4 is actually The Devil All the Time, and
Oh.
I really enjoyed this. I can pretty much mimic everything that Nick was saying. I think Tom Holland has such a strong future ahead of him outside of Marvel, and I'm really excited for him to honestly finish Marvel and just kind of move on and do more like
Yeah, like
stuff
he's
like
great.
this.
He's a great Spider-Man, and he really does. And he's not just a Marvel face. He actually puts all into that character.
Yeah, he does the gymnastics and everything. Like
The gymnastics
but
and the
Tom
emotion
Holland
he
is
puts
is
in.
a solid ass actor, man.
He really is.
He's really good. And from what I hear, Cherry is also. It's not the best movie, but Tom Holland is the best part of the film. From what I hear about Cherry.
That's good.
But yeah, no, this is great. This is it's a really good time. The movie is dark. It is
Yeah.
super dark.
Yeah.
And it deals with that generation's like our grandparents, our boomers, the boomer generation, our grandparents' essential
Baby boomers.
like generation, and how they were taught to kind of, don't show your fear, don't show your emotion. You want to be strong, especially the men are supposed to be strong and women are supposed to be this way and blah blah blah. And Tom Holland is kind of both in that way, where he's like, I'm gonna be, my dad wanted me to be this way, but his dad went crazy. But he's also like, I want my sister to do this, but if she doesn't want to, I'm not gonna make her do anything she wants type. And
Right. Yeah. I like those scenes with him and his sister. Those were I like that, how that relationship came to be, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just charming.
Yeah, I also Sebastian Stan's all the characters are so conflicted, except for literally the only character that's like, there's two characters that are just like fucking pieces of shit.
The scuzziest people.
Robert Pattinson's character is just a monster, and oh god, what's his name? Fucking Terminator.
Jason Clarke.
Jason Clarke. Also, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I watched that. And that's fucking fantastic.
He's great in that.
He is also kind of a piece of shit. And these stories all link together, and it's just, it kind of feels like, it's kind of like how Pulp Fiction has their kind of stories that intertwine at the very end. But this is, unlike Pulp Fiction, this is everyone's story is coming together and everyone's story is linked. Instead of Pulp Fiction, where it's like half of the characters are linked to each other. This is like everyone is linked up together, and the people that you would not expect to be kind of having confrontations have confrontations. And it's just, I think it's just such a well done film, and it's so nice to see actors out of their norm. Robert Pattinson, this isn't, he's got such a wild range. It's crazy to see him. Sebastian Stan is also in this, and he's not the Winter Soldier. I know he's done other stuff, but that's what he's known for.
Sure.
And he's fantastic. I think his character, other than Tom Holland's, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is incredible in this. He's terrible, but incredible at the same time. And it's just, again, he's another conflicted, emotionful, like just full of emotion character. And just the way that all these characters come together is so satisfying. And it kind of loses me at towards the end a little bit, when there's just so much shit happening in such a fast amount of time. But that's kind of how the situation would go. So I'm cool with it. It's a very, very solid movie, and it's very worthy of my number 4, I think.
Number 3.
Bumblebee. Bumblebee 15.
Bumblebee. My number 3 is The Five Bloods. Yeah,
That
Spike
should be
Lee.
your number 5. That would have been great. My number 5 is The Five Bloods.
You missed it. You
If
missed
only.
out, boy.
If only. If it was less good, then it'd be my number 5.
Sure.
No, Spike Lee, once again, having his finger on the pulse of the voice of the black community. It's cinematically speaking. He's perfectly channeling that through the arts. It's very... there's a lot of daring stuff in here. There's a lot of... this is also kind of dark. This is also a very dark movie, too. Sans some really bad action sequences. He's not an action director.
Yeah.
It's so comical, but the rest of the movie, really up to snuff. Very incredible stuff. Delroy Lindo, it's a crime he wasn't nominated for an Oscar. He gives probably my favorite performance of the entire year. This guy was amazing. He is amazing in this film. And the rest of the Bloods are really great too. Chadwick Boseman, once again, also. He does a
I
solid
was gonna
job.
say, I thought he was in that movie too.
Yeah, he plays a pivotal supporting role in it. It's very good. Yeah, it's part Treasure Sierra Madre, part Platoon, part Do the Right Thing. It's a buddy film. It's a quest movie. They're looking for gold in Vietnam. It's very. I said Treasure Sierra Madre, right? It's
Yeah.
it's very similar to that, but yeah, it's tense. It's funny. It's emotional. It's heartbreaking. It is the whole package, and yeah, once again capturing a perspective we don't see a lot, the black American soldier in Vietnam, and what became of them decades later, after even in these very tumultuous times we find ourselves in. Very well directed, excellently acted. It does feel long-winded at a point, but I don't know what I'd take out. Spike Lee is a very important filmmaker, and this is probably one of his more standout films as of late. And yeah, very solid, well worth watching.
Bazinga. All right.
Bazimba.
My number 3 is Nomad Land.
Oh.
Yeah, what do I say about this? Ooh, it's got a lot of controversy lately, being labeled as like poverty porn and whatnot. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I see it, but I think this story of this older woman sort of losing her, basically it takes place during the recession. She's kind of losing her home, not in a great financial spot, and so she's just sort of finding what it means to have a home, like a true home, and home being more than just a place, it being like a community, kind of like, you know, friendships, relationships, and it's got a bit of a Malick touch to it in terms of the way it's stitched together, and some of the cinematography gave me some huge Malick vibes, but it's just a very simple and beautiful, elegant film. Frances McDormand's, it's quite good. And there's just some great characters in the film that bring a lot of heart to the movie as a whole. There's not like anything that's super stand out, I guess, but just the overall vibe and the themes it deals with are just spot on. Just stuff that I think about a lot.
Yeah, it looks like a good social atmosphere going on in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, quite good. I recommend it a lot.
All right, my number 3 is Hamilton, and
That
it's
was a
weird
movie?
one. It's a film that came out. Technically, it's a film.
It works.
So I didn't like Hamilton at first when I first saw it. I was like, this is just like whatever. But I watched it not in one sitting. Like I didn't sit down and watch it. Yeah, it was the second time I watched it was super good, really good, and the music is great. The story is I don't give a shit about it really because it's, you know, we're glorifying slave owners essentially, like shut up, okay, like whatever. But they do have a way of making that not be the case by not bringing it up at all. And
Typical leftist behavior.
yeah, let's just, but it's pretty good. The performances are great. The talent is insane in this movie. The fact that they were able to bring kind of this, I want to say hip hop, but it doesn't. It's like the weirdest fucking hip hop I've ever heard. But it's like it's strange, but it's good. It's really good, and I keep going back in my head and replaying and replaying the same lyrics over and over in my head. I really enjoy it, and it's one of those ones where it's here because I didn't know what else to put here. And I liked it better than the other two. So it's
surprisingly
that's why it's there. So that's my number 3.
Chace, I love your honesty.
I'm not gonna fucking lie about it.
I don't give a shit about the story.
I mean, there's an intermission in the middle, and after the intermission, I'm out of it.
It's pretty long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours 45, something like that. It's fucking long, dude. So
that's the pull quote. My mind.
Yeah, but so every character besides Lin-Manuel Miranda, or every actor plays 2 characters essentially, and it's pretty cool. Eventually the characters die. Well, surprisingly, weird, right? And so those actors that played those characters come back and play different characters. Thomas Jefferson is fucking cool, but he's also a bitch. But it's really good. Oh God, I want to figure out the name of the actor so I can.
Benjamin Franklin.
No, Leslie Odom Jr. He was also in a couple in a movie this year. I don't remember what it was called, but he plays Aaron Burr, and he is by far the best character in this whole movie, or in the whole play. He's the antagonist technically, but really not really. But he plays it so well, and he's fantastic, and he's got a fantastic voice, and his stage presence he's so sad and angry, and it kind of boils over into this final conflict that's so satisfying, actually. And yeah, it's a very solid number 3 for me.
Oh boy, musical theater kids will probably never shut up about that one.
Oh yeah, I know hip hop. Yeah. Yeah. Alexander Hamilton, right? Yeah, I like hip hop.
Okay, number dos. This one may trigger certain people.
I'm gonna be triggered.
Number dos for me is Possessor. Famously on the show here, I had some words. Famously, I had some words. A lot of them are really good. Actually, yeah, a great majority of them. I love this movie quite a bit.
That's a 2020 movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase me, boy.
The one
at it.
The one where they go into
yeah, they take over.
That movie
bodies.
was so cool. I was trying to figure out what that movie was. God damn, I was gonna put it into my first watches. I couldn't figure out what it was. Whatever, Hamilton. It takes its place. It takes Hamilton's place. That's my
Get
number
out of
3.
here, Hamilton.
That's my number 3. Fuck Hamilton. It's out of the
Okay.
Possessor is my number 3.
I'll do double duty here. Yeah, Possessor. I really love this movie. Brandon Cronenberg, thanks for taking after your father and making a twisted, effed up sci-fi body horror movie. It's a very cool concept. Touches on some really cool concepts and themes. Ones that I was actually on board with dissecting as I was watching the movie. I don't normally do that. Artsy movies, I'm like, but this is great. Andrea Riseborough, she is an underrated talent. Everything I watch her in she's great. She's like a chameleon. I don't notice right away she's doing an amazing job until I see her for at least 5 minutes on the screen. She does a great job here. But the guy she possesses, what's his freaking name? Christopher Abbott. This man does so much legwork in this movie.
Yeah, he was fucking insane.
He was insane. And then you got Sean Bean. He's so scuzzy. He's really great. Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's also really great too. Acting all around is very good in this film. Very strong. The dialogue is excellent. Good at giving character and also building the world that the characters inhabit. You just want to listen in on conversations for the rest of the duration. Not to discredit the rest of the film, but if there was just a movie about them talking about the process of possessing people, I would be still entertained heavily. And this movie has one of the most throwback aesthetics I've seen in any horror movie. They go all practical with their special effects, and it looks really freaking good. It's so good. It does harken back to David Cronenberg's catalog when he was in his prime. Videodrome, Scanners, The Fly. It took me by surprise. I was very satisfied. Oh, and ultra-violence. It was so violent.
It's also beautiful.
It's beautiful violence. Beautiful everything. It's a fantastic picture. I could see myself revisiting this one. It's really demented, but it's also so cool. Chase, did I cover all your thoughts there?
I barely remember the film. I couldn't even remember what the fucking name was.
Couldn't remember what year it came out.
I couldn't. I was like, no, I thought it was 2018 or something like that.
Well, does it start with D?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking as we were talking, I'm like, what was that one movie?
Dozing off.
What's the one Nick lost his shit over?
It was, dude, it was fun. I loved it. It was such a good movie. What's your number 2, Dictor? Oh!
Take that!
Bet you've never gotten that one before.
High five, Chase.
Fucking owned.
I'm gonna kill you.
Get owned.
Oh, back, girl. Back, girl. Back. Stay.
What's number 2?
Good grief. My number 2 is, we covered this one on the pod.
Ooh.
Dogs do not wear pants.
Oh, that's also, what the fuck? That's a 2020 film?
I knew, yeah.
Dude.
It's technically 2019 because of like festival runs, but it wide release in 2020.
That was so good.
You can add it back.
That was a
Chase,
weird-
Do you know
add it to your list?
technically 1917 was also a 2020 film?
No, stop.
I don't know where I can add it, honestly. I don't want to
Dog
bump
break.
I don't want to bump
Coming.
Sonic the Hedgehog, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll be back. Keep
okay.
talking.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, dogs don't wear pants. A very untraditional way of a character confronting grief and trauma.
Yeah.
Very unconventional.
Very.
Something deals it in a way that I have never seen before. Basically, a man, he goes to a what is the name? Dominatrix to sort of get off, sort of confront the tragedy that scarred him.
Yeah, it's like a
earlier in the
twofer.
film.
It's a twofer. He's able to nut, and he's also able to cry, and he hasn't been able to do any of those.
Right.
Either of those. So it's
Exactly.
yeah.
And because of that tragedy that happens early in the film that propels the story, he is very lost. He doesn't really have friends. Like, he's just a very lonely and lost person. But going to this character, the dominatrix, he is able to slowly kind of find himself again, find what sort of creates that spark in his life, and leads to one of my favorite endings of the year. But basically, this character is just sort of it's such a damn good ending.
It's so fun, dude. It's
So weird in that.
It's so fun.
But basically, it's great because this character, he's becoming himself again and finding community that he can be comfortable in. Because once he meets the dominatrix, his life gets a little bit. It just gets a little different.
Yeah,
he gets outside of his comfort zone.
A little
You
different.
could say strange, Victor. No one will be mad at you.
It's a little strange. We said weird. That's pretty close.
Right. But no, I just found this to be super satisfying, and it comes off as a horror film. Like, That's what I kind of thought going into it. It was going to be like a horror
it was on
film.
Shudder.
It's on Shudder.
Like
Yeah,
like
what the
Audition
fuck?
or something,
Yeah,
but it's totally
not
not.
that at all.
It's
no.
not.
It's a
not
drama.
At all.
It's a depressing, sad drama.
Yeah,
It's incredibly
but
sad.
Incredibly sad. Looks terrific.
Yeah.
Acted just.
Ooh.
Mwah, acting's on
So
point.
good.
God, it's just so good.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I fucking wish I remembered both of those movies, dude. God, I'm so
jeez.
upset. I'll change it.
Yeah.
I'll change it at the end. I'll change it.
There you go.
I almost blocked it out from my memory entirely.
Jesus, guy. But yeah, lovely film.
Lovely.
If you can call it that.
It was very good. You can.
Nick's
call it
low-key hater.
that. Yeah, it's
I'm
a
not.
hater.
No, it's just the subject matter is.
Nick's
strange.
not comfortable with his sexuality. Boom! I said it. Boom! I said it.
Who the hell are you talking
Boom! I said
to?
it. I said it. Do you like to be spanked, Nick?
Oh, you don't know what I like.
You won't tell me straight up. Me? I'll tell you straight up. I don't.
Hey.
I don't like to be spanked. My number 2.
Wait, where was your fart thing this whole time? We were doing number dos.
Oh, fuck.
Crap.
But the
Get it? Crap.
I get it. I get it.
I'm so funny.
My number 2. I'm bouncing in my head. Hey, Nick, can you put your dog down?
Fuck. No.
My number 2 is bouncing around. I think that I'm going to commit and say that my number 2 is The Sound of Metal. Very good movie. You've already talked about it. It's very, everything about it is good. All the performances are fantastic. Sound design particularly fantastic. The cinematography is actually really good in this too. It's very minimal. And it feels like it's supposed to be minimal.
A lot of it's handheld too, if I remember right.
A lot of it's handheld, yeah. And that really stood out to me because that's how I film. I film all handheld because I just like the way it looks. And so I really appreciated this. It's such a good movie. It's fun. It's not fun. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's not a fun movie. It's really depressing, but it's got some goddamn heart, man. It's beautiful, and the characters make decisions where you're like, no, don't do that, please. You're like, please don't do it. Just stop. Yeah, it's every pretty much everything you said is exactly where I'm at too. The decisions that some of the characters make, I want to cry and just be like, please don't make this decision. But the ending is so satisfying.
Absolutely.
And the entire thing kind of culminates in just as overly satisfying. Riz Ahmed, he's a fantastic man. He's also the first Muslim man to be nominated for an Oscar. That's crazy. Nick McCann, the Chicken Alfredo man. What do you?
I thought that was green bean casserole. What is it?
It looked like.
Looks hard to chew. That's what it is.
Yeah, it does. Might be green bean casserole.
We're gonna get an answer. I really want to know.
I'm
dying, bro. Give me an answer.
Beef stroganoff.
Oh! I don't like beef stroganoff.
Fuck you. That's what I said.
Yeah, I don't like beef stroganoff. If it was chicken Alfredo, I would have been all over that shit, son.
Hey, you will love this beef stroganoff. I will feed it right down your friggin' throat.
Ew.
Okay. All right. Let's not stall.
Number 1, Nick.
Okay. Number one, numero uno, letter A. It is. Okay. Number 1 is The Invisible Man.
Damn.
Damn. Sheesh.
Here's the thing. Universal Studios monster lineup.
I'm sorry. All right, Universal monster. Okay, sorry.
Universal Studios monsters are some of the best ever. Their movies are so iconic and classic. And I was really hoping we get a solid cinematic universe or series or connecting universe for the modern day. It took us so long to get there, but we finally nailed it with this movie. And it's such a great thriller. It's so wonderful. I was happy probably from the get-go. Victor and I saw this in IMAX. We looked at each other in surprise when things happened, and I was scared out of my mind. Camera shots of just nothing, just preying on your imagination, letting your anxiety fire away. It's wicked stuff. Lee Wanell is so good crafting tension and weaving in topicality too. Like this is an instance where the topicality of the story, like the themes and messages, they don't get in the way. They actually add on to the story and make you think. Great performances. Elizabeth Moss, she goes through the ringer quite a bit. That's the beauty of horror movies. You get to see actors play through a lot of different emotions, and sometimes you get amazing performances like this one. All the acting all around is great. Some great visual effects in the movie. I love the new look of the Invisible Man. It's creepy and modern and straight ominous at times. There's some really good memorable sequences here. There's an attic sequence. There's a hospital sequence. I go crazy whenever I watch these. Like, if I see it on TV, I'll watch these whole scenes because they're so good. And, yeah, great effects work. I'm glad Blumhouse took up the mantle with a restrained approach. It seemed like the thing they needed after Tom Cruise's The Mummy and the other couple of times this universe tried to get off the ground. I loved it. I felt so much joy when I watched this. You could hear it in our review. I'm still overjoyed with every subsequent watch.
Nice.
So, number one, The Invisible Man.
All right, here we go. My numero uno, my one, my first number of the numerology bet.
I.
My number one film is Jasper Mall. This was you guys are like, what the fuck is
I
that?
have no fucking clue.
This is a documentary.
Damn, dude, 2 documentaries, and your number one.
Later.
Your number one last year was the Aretha Franklin one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
and see, I don't really watch many documentaries, but when I pick them, I guess I pick them.
I guess you just pick amazing documentaries.
Dude, send me your recs. You're on a roll here.
But this is a film about a mall that is dying. It is going under business. They are losing businesses. No one's really going there anymore because of course, the changing world of shopping. Amazon has kind of taken over, and these malls that are in these southern states that used to be hot are they're losing steam. And so this film sort of follows the people who work there still, some of the businesses that are still there, if there are really any. There's just a handful. Business is slow. No one's making enough money. But you're following these people. You're following people who have gone there all their lives. The stories that go with that. And it's just super under the radar. There's nothing like, kind of like the last couple of films, where nothing really is like super stand out. But I have just taken a big interest in just people in general, their stories, what makes them human. And I don't know, this just really hit me. It's just got a certain vibe that I've always admired and wanted to see in a movie. And it's captured just so well and so elegant. And the ending is it's probably my favorite ending of the year. It's nothing that is super, like, it's not going to blow you away, but it just hit the right note, just the perfect note. I have a big problem with endings that just, there's the perfect frame it can end on, but they just drag it for another 20 seconds. I'm like, you bastard, if you would have just fucking backed it up a little bit, it would have been perfect. But this film, the director, he nailed it. It's not a very entertaining movie at all.
It's a documentary.
Well, documentaries can be very entertaining, but
Yeah,
this one is
Super
just.
Size Me is dope, dude.
But it's just focused on a dying mall. It doesn't get very. I don't know how interesting you can get it with a topic like that, but yeah,
It's got
I
some
loved it.
Topicality. But shit, we're going through that right now. We're
Yeah,
borderline.
absolutely.
Just the pandemic and shit. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely! Like, definitely rings relevancy.
Yeah, even up here in
Got it.
Washington, you got the whole Northgate Mall situation, converting it, and even Alderwood Mall, they're putting in the apartments to raise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's very on the nose right now.
It's and it's just kind of depressing, honestly, because these people are just trying to make a living, and
Yeah.
there's a line that there's a security guard that the film follows, and he's talking about how, when this mall goes under, he's going to go work for the CEO at like another mall or something, or go work for one of his other malls, and you just think like, God, this guy who owns handful of malls, if he was just to put some more energy and money and actually try to make this mall live again and like try to build it a new foundation, it's just very telling of the mindset of people with lots of money.
Yeah.
And
They're just thinking about
Yeah.
making more money.
it's just a kind of depressing film, but super my shit, 100%.
Nice.
And that one's on Amazon Prime,
Word.
I believe.
Word. All right. My number one.
Samson is number one.
What a fucking smiley dog, dude.
Perpetual happiness.
He's a dopey looking dude.
I love it. Sorry to distract. Samson needs some
My number one film of this year is King of Staten Island.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this one is like Victor was saying, this one was totally my shit. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy with Pete Davidson and Melissa Tomei. Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei. Yeah, she's wow. And fucking Bill Burr is in this as well.
Oh hell yeah, I'm in.
And this movie is so more than just like a Pete Davidson kind of like loser. Like, he kind of plays that kind of like, yeah, whatever, loser card really well. And he was in another one this year called it was a Judd Apatow. I think no, this is the Judd Apatow one. He was another one. Another one, yeah, and that one was good, but it wasn't Pete Davidson played the same character essentially. But this one is kind of, this guy is a man-child, and he's not a man-child because he just doesn't give a fuck. He's a man-child because he's fucking scared and lonely and doesn't know how to embrace his emotions. And it's just the film is such a tug on like my particular heartstrings, and it's so like there was countless times where like I was fighting back tears just because of how something that he said was so like rang home with me that it was insane. It was so, it's like I've never had a movie that felt like it was like talking to me, and this one felt like it was talking to me. And it could have been my state of mind at the time I was watching it, but Pete Davidson has this relationship with Bill Burr, who Bill Burr is trying hard to be like a good guy, and Pete Davidson is just kind of, I don't give a fuck because my mom only deserves my dad who died in 9/11 type thing, and Bill Burr is a firefighter. And so there's this kind of like respect thing that he has for Bill Burr, but still kind of like this kind of hatred because you'll never be as good as my father and yada yada. And it turns out that they worked together and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you're grabbing onto, and it's a roller coaster ride of comedy, and then the last act just kind of slaps you with emotion. And it's so, Pete Davidson was so good in this, Bill Burr and Pete Davidson's like chemistry is fantastic, and it's very solid number one for me.
You had me at Bill Burr and firefighters.
Yeah, it's not it's not a firefighter film.
I know,
but
I know. But still, the firefighter culture, I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's the movie's got a shit ton of heart, but it's also still super funny. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a pretty solid, very very solid film, and I'm very okay with it being my number one.
Right on.
Excellent, bro.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, guys, I think that's it. That is our.
That is it.
Top.
It's been a good year. It's been all right. It's been a fucking shitty year, man.
Just descending the ladder.
It's been such a wild year and such an anticlimactic year for film. And
totally.
I'm just excited.
Everything got pushed back.
Yeah, I'm excited for 2021. There's some great releases already. This year has come out with some cool ones.
I was gonna ask. So we're currently into the 4th month. Do we have any films in particular we're excited for the rest of the year?
Fucking.
I can't think of any.
All I can think of is Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm excited for. Oh,
yeah.
Dune.
That's
Dune
gonna be
in
dope.
December.
Dune,
I'm excited for that. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
The normal shit.
Cool.
The stuff that was supposed to come out last year that's supposed to come out this year now. So.
Yeah. There's a couple in particular I'm fond of right now. One is Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder. Mm-hmm. That looks so.
Oh yeah.
It looks so
cool.
Fucking fun. I can't wait to see that one. And then the next one is Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's the newest Western thriller by Taylor Sheridan, who also made Hell or High Water and Wind River. He also wrote Sicario and created Yellowstone.
Oh.
He's one of my favorite writers right now, and I love it I especially love it when he directs too. Whatever he puts down, I'm there. I'm with it, and I can't wait for this one.
Nice.
Oh, Venom. Or sorry, not Venom. Fucking, why did I say Venom? Matrix, of course. I'm excited for The Matrix.
Yeah.
John Wick 4.
No,
that got pushed.
That's pushed, yeah.
Okay.
How about Space Jam 2?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it because it's free. I'm not a fan of how Disney's doing their releases right now on Disney Plus. That's stupid.
They're doing the Mulan model, right?
They're doing the Mulan model. Yeah, that's dumb. But the thing is, people are going to pay for it anyway. So it's like, but like HBO Max, number one. If we want to go through and we want to talk about like best streaming services of 2020, fucking HBO Max is way up there.
I am impressed with HBO Max. Like I was adverse to the whole we're gonna do a month on Max for these new movies type deal, but no, I'm actually quite comfortable with it now.
So
a little bit. It's pretty worth it. They made it comfortable, and now that we're actually getting the movies in theaters, it's nice. We still have the option. Yeah. So I commend them for still getting these movies out and making the pill easy to swallow for people like me.
Yeah,
so,
I pay for Hulu Premium, like Premium Hulu, with like no ads or anything, and I share that with my old roommates, and they share their HBO Max with me. So it's like
nice.
we're each only paying for one, but able to use both of them. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a very fair trade. They're the same price, like $15 a month type thing.
So, how about Netflix making it harder to do that sort of thing?
Netflix?
Oh, they're going to be limiting password sharing.
Fuck you.
I know, right?
Fuck you.
That's.
What do you have a limited? Do you have a limited amount of devices you can sign into or some shit?
No, I think they've caught on that people are sharing accounts with each other because they.
Okay, you have like 1 billion users. Shut up.
Like, fuck off.
Like, you're already the biggest streaming service on the fucking planet. Oh, well, you know, your 8-year-old son isn't paying for it. It's like, okay, suck my dick, Netflix. Fuck you. I'm going to delete my Netflix account just for that bullshit. That's so stupid.
Dude,
I think they're limiting to, like, IP address or, like, the household.
IP address? That could be, like, Dude,
I know, but that
that
can
could be where your fucking computer is.
Wait. Can we just appreciate
I
the
might be.
fact?
I might be wrong.
I want to soak this in more. Chase just shit talked Netflix like he's cursing out a 10-year-old on Xbox Live. That was epic, man.
I don't care, dude. What are they
I
gonna
love
do?
it.
They're like, oh, you talk shit, so now you can't have our service. It's like, okay, I wasn't paying for it anyway, son. I don't care. I don't pay for it anyway. I get mine from my sister. I don't give a fuck. Yeah,
Chase, Chase,
Disney is gonna come back and be like, "Oh, you guys can't share." Disney has you can literally have 30 people watching at one point on Disney Plus, because you can have 10 different accounts and 3 people can be watching from the same account at the same time.
Damn.
Shit's bonkers, dude.
I gotta say, have you guys seen anything from 2021 yet? From this year?
Just Kongzilla.
Well, yeah, that so far is my favorite of the year. But I have been keeping up with the Warner Brothers lineup. So I watched. Let's see. There was in January we had The Little Things with Denzel Washington. It's a very average crime thriller. You've seen everything it does done better in other movies. Judas and the Black Messiah, very good film. I'm rooting for that Oscar season. The Tom and Jerry movie, it's really stupid, not in hindsight, but I was laughing my ass off when I was watching it.
It's fun. It's Tom and Jerry. Yeah, who the fuck cares? You know.
Yeah. When it's Tom and Jerry, it's really good. The human stuff, it's fine-ish. It moves Tom and Jerry along. And then I watched this one called Outside the Wire. It's a Netflix sci-fi action movie with Anthony Mackie, where he isn't cracking jokes a whole lot. It's very serious, and it's very amateur looking, and I didn't finish it. I might finish it, but I doubt I'll finish it. and this other one called Celia's Dream, whatever. It's just kind of... It was there.
Yeah, this really shitty movie called Celia's Dream.
No, it's a short film Victor made. Good stuff, Victor.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
It's super weird.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll have a short film coming out this year. My first one.
Hell yeah.
My
First
first
short
one.
film.
My first short film. I'm really excited.
Let's go.
Victor's actually like my fucking lead, my hero in.
I got you.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do it.
I was just going to recommend a film from 2021. It's called Nobody. It's like John Wick with
yes!
Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, is it good?
It's good.
It's playing at my
It's
theater.
very good.
I'm thinking
I wanna
about
see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would go see it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have a short film coming out too. It's a post-apocalypse western action movie.
Nice.
Yeah. We shot it last summer. 3 straight days in the blazing hot. And yeah, it's looking pretty good now. We're doing sound effects and additional visual effects. I can't wait. It was a lot of fun to make. It's a lot of fun to make, and it came together really well.
Nice.
Look out for Chase and Nick's short film. All right, well, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Yeah, what do I say? I don't know. Follow us on Instagram. Stream the hell out of this episode, please. Our numbers are low.
Went into making this episode.
Pretend this is your favorite artist, and pretend this is Justin Bieber coming out and saying, "Please stream my new album. Please, I need the revenue. Stream Yummy. Stream this shit song, please.
Pretend
get
this
into number
is-
1."
Pretend this is Uwe Boll saying, "You better like this movie, or I'll punch the hell out of you in a boxing match."
Yes, exactly. So, stream this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your year. Bazinga. Bye-bye, everyone.